speech bill impressive. Political officer of the Embassy of the United States of America, Jerry Howard, on Tuesday described the hate speech bill before the National Assembly as an impressive piece of legislation needed to address issues of discrimination, hostility, and violence in Nigeria. Howard stated this during a meeting with the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate and sponsor of the hate speech bill, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, at the National Assembly, Abuja. According to the United States Embassy official, the visit was intended to engage the sponsor of the hate speech bill and to seek an understanding into the proposed legislation under consideration by the Senate. Following explanations by Senator Sabi Abdullahi on the bill, Mr. Howard described the response of the media as misleading and hysterical of the content of the bill and what it actually seeks to achieve. He therefore advised the sponsor of the bill to engage and educate non-governmental organizations and civil society organizations in the country on its proposed content so as to muster support for the bill. Speaking on the decision of the U.S. Embassy to engage the National Assembly on the hate speech bill, Howard said, "We want Nigeria to succeed and we think a prerequisite for Nigeria's success is successful democracy. For democracy to succeed, the people must have a house. The people must have a place where their representatives can argue and complain, come up with new ideas and come up with solutions to guide the executive branch and lead the country forward." He commended the lawmaker for the level of work and research carried out on the bill, saying, I'm very impressed with the research you have done on the bill. The media has had a field day with this, really. You have thought it through. I was depending on the media for my education and it was very misleading. You've done your research and it is very interesting. But you have a difficult job selling to the NGOs, CSOs. You need to talk to them. You will need to talk to civil society organizations. You need to educate them. You've educated me, Howard said after Senator Abdullahi explained the context of the bill. Earlier, speaking on why he decided to introduce the bill, the lawmaker said part of the reasons why violence takes place is attributable to discriminatory practices. It is discrimination that creates the socio-political imbalance that you see, leading to a group feeling shortchanged and marginalized. Discrimination is also another very serious matter why I sponsored the bill. This bill this bill basically is about preventing discrimination and prohibiting people who incite violence, he explained. Abdullahi further stated that the bill's introduction by the National Assembly has the backing of Section 45 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The section states, "Nothing in Section 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41 of this Constitution shall invalidate any law that is reasonably justified in a democratic society. In the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, or public health, or for the purpose of protecting the rights and freedom of or other persons, on measures in place to ensure that the bill is not abused by politicians." Senator Sabi explained that an independent commission shall be constituted and whose membership will be restricted to persons without any history of promoting ethnic or religious causes or any with political affiliations. He added that the passage of the bill by the National Assembly into law will address all forms of discrimination, hostility, and violence which are on the rise in the country. So guys, this is what the official of the US, whatever that he called himself, that's his own opinion. That is what he has said, and he's really entitled to his own opinion. And the direction he's looking it from is different from the direction Nigerians are looking it from. Of course, Nigerians are the ones who are here who know how our politicians behave. And because some people have really come out and say, okay, now you are talking about this bill and this bill, which ought to have been taken care of on other bill, related to this hate speech. But you bringing out this you are trying to say, okay, we are going to get a committee again, set up a lot of different committee, set up different people who will be heading this, will be heading. That is another expenses on its own. It's going to cost something. It's going to cost a lot of things again, because people who are going to be in charge of those things, you are going to recruit them, and you are even talking of how to cut down the cost of governance, and you are bringing this kind of a thing which ought to have been addressed in other bills related his speech. So just like I said, the USA envoy, he has his right to his opinion, but he can't cry more than the bereaved. And more so, what people or Nigerians are not happy about with this senator that proposed this bill is that is it only hate speech? The main thing, the main reason why there is hate speech in the first place, you are not even addressing it. Why are people into hate speech? All for all the problems that have Nigerians are faced with, it is this one that you can really bring. Then people are saying, what about the politicians who are engaged in looting this country dry? You guys are not saying anything about them, that punishment are supposed to be meted for them. No, everything is all about the masses. Everything is all about the masses. You guys cannot just bring any or propose any bill that will directly for the masses. Forget all these constituency projects they always embark on. They will select some few people and loud it, telling people that, oh, they have done this, they have done that. And meanwhile, the people in that constituency, not just like maybe 1% that will benefit even what they are bringing and what they have collected for that constituency allowance or for the project. They don't even spend up to 5% of the whole thing, and they will start making all manner of a noise that, oh, they have done this, they have done that. Ask the people in that their constituency whether they even know who their lawmaker is or their senator is. Reverse is the case. Nobody, majority of people don't know about it. You don't even propose any bill that will be masses friendly, and that's why Nigerians are angry that the people who are really looting this country, that who are causing a lot of people a lot of agony and a lot of pain, you are not making or sponsoring any bill that we caution them, that will even affect them, that will make them to stop all of those things that they are doing. No, it is all about the masses. So like I said, the US envoy is entitled to his opinion, but the Nigerians who are on ground know how our politicians behave, because this man wants to incur that cost by setting up a committee, putting people in charge of all of those things, just like he said, so that politicians will not have their way or they will not abuse the whole thing. So that is just my own opinion, and a lot of people have condemned it. Even the federal government, whether they are playing to the gallery, saying that there is no need for Senate to pass that bill. And meanwhile, Senate has already said there's no way they are going to pass that bill. So I don't know the angle at which the US convoy is looking, or envoy is looking the bill from, that the man did a thorough work, that he was relying on the he was relying on the journalists or the media to educate him, but it's like he got a kind of what he never expected. It was really misleading according to the way he put it. But for him meeting the proposal of that bill, he has been educated, and he feels that the man has done a lot of work, a lot of research. He has put a lot of work into that. And let's hear what Nigerians are saying. Someone says, let this American man sell it to American first before coming to Nigeria to talk about it. Someone said, this American guy can be so, people are really abusing him. Go to North Korea and say this nonsense to them. Mr. American, go and sleep. Can you tell Russia, China, or even Zimbabwe how to run their country? This is a baby democracy, and this bill could be abused if it becomes a law. Someone say, what will you say about looters and corrupt politicians who put Nigeria in this mess? They should keep bringing the looted funds to the West, Abi. You are so clueless. Without missing words, if this law goes through, it will be abused by the political class, and our democracy is not yet ripe for this. Here in Nigeria, we play politics of bitterness, hatred, self-centered, etc. They should first come up with laws that will take care of corruption. To me, this law is to protect the political or politicians so that nobody can talk about their evil deeds. Someone say envelope is speaking. Howard will be first to face Engine and his family life jail on envelope. May terrorists locate you and your generation for supporting evils. It shall never, people are just abusing this man. This American man doesn't know what he's talking about. He's totally confused. Let him convince Trump and American legislators to pass the hate speech bill first. Advise your country to also do such bill, because Trump is the most insulted president in the history of America as a nation. Mr. US man, we Nigerians don't need it, okay? Killing people for talking truth in the name of hate speech will restore democracy according to you, but our economy is dwindling daily as a result of leadership incompetence and corruption. To you, that is democracy. Is that how you practice your own democracy in America? Brood of vipers. How many of such beautiful pieces of legislations are now in operation in the US? I watched on TV how a BBC journalist criticized the policy and the posture of the sitting president openly, right to the president's presence, but he went home free. But this Nigerian beautiful piece of legislation proposed that a person who makes a speech, personal opinion, critical to the operation of government or government agent shall be guilty of making a hate speech, penalty of which is death by hanging. What a beautiful piece of a legislation. President Trump cannot support such legislation because the target is obvious. Such legislation, no matter the coloration and campaign, is a bad legislation and should not be considered by the National Assembly. So guys, a lot of people have said a lot of things and they are not really happy with this American man saying that he should go and advise his people to pass such bill. And the most insulted president that in the history of America is Trump. People just talk to him anyhow and nobody has said anything. But you dare not try that in Nigeria, that if you say such a thing or you try to criticize them, they say death by hanging. So that you should just go and sell that bill to them in America. Like I said, the Nigerian people know what is obtainable. They know how things play out in this country. So we can just speak, we just speaking, of course, from what he said he should go and educate people, because it's going to be difficult for him to say this kind of a thing. Of course, he would not want to say anything against the man, of course, just to make him feel good, and the man will be happy as well. So we know how all of these things play. They will not want to come out, or you don't want to come out direct and really give it to him. But in another breath, he said go and meet with all these NGOs and CSO so that they will be able to sell it to the public, before public will now say okay if they agree. But as it is now, public already know what they are trying to do and they have rejected it, right from the beginning. So guys, I'll leave your comments below in the comment section. Let's hear your own take. Thank you very much. Bye.